think they're clapping for you. You think the smiles are real. You think the attention means respect. But let me wake you up right now. They're not applauding you. They're studying you, measuring you, calculating you. And some of them, they're quietly preparing for your downfall. From the moment you were born, you were programmed to believe that success must be seen. That if you achieve something, you should show it. That visibility equals power. That the louder you shine, the more valuable you become. That is a lie that keeps you exposed, vulnerable, and easy to destroy. Because in the real world, the one that runs beneath the surface of smiles and small talk, power moves differently. It moves in silence. It hides. It studies. It waits. And when it strikes, it doesn't announce itself. It just happens. Every time you show off your wins, your money, your relationships, your progress, you're not building power. You're leaking it. You're broadcasting your weaknesses to people who don't even like you. You're handing out a map to your own destruction. And today, we're going to rip the mask off this illusion. We're going to break down why silence is the last real luxury left. And if you're honest with yourself, by the time you finish listening to this, you're going to start moving very differently. Let's get something straight. This is not about manners. This is not about being polite. This is about survival. When you show off, you think you're inspiring people. You think you're earning admiration. But what you really are doing is triggering something deep inside the human mind. You're reminding people of what they don't have. You're exposing the gap between you and them. And that gap creates tension. That tension turns into resentment. And resentment, that's where enemies are born. You take a picture of your success and post it online. You think you're sharing joy, but what someone else sees is your advantage, your resources, your edge. And in their mind, consciously or not, you just became a threat. You just turned neutral people into quiet opposition. Like a sniper revealing his position, the moment you show where you stand, you invite attention. And attention is not always friendly. Sometimes it's strategic. Sometimes it's patient. Sometimes it's waiting for the right moment to strike. And you won't even see it coming. Every time you brag, you're not just showing something off. You're telling the world who you are at your core. You're saying, this is what matters to me. You're saying, this is where I'm sensitive. You're saying, this is where you can hurt me. If you show off money, you reveal that your security is tied to it. If you show off intelligence, you reveal your ego is tied to being right. If you show off relationships, you reveal your emotional attachment. You're giving people a blueprint of your weak points. And understand this clearly. Not everyone around you is rooting for you. Some are studying you, quietly, carefully, waiting for the moment when you slip and when you're distracted, when you're overconfident. You're handing them the exact tools they need. Meanwhile, the most powerful people, you know nothing about them. You don't know their next move. You don't know their plans. You don't know their fears. That's not by accident. That's protection. There's a harsh truth most people don't want to hear. The louder someone is about their success, the less secure they actually are. Because real power doesn't need validation. When you constantly talk about how busy you are, how successful you are, how desired you are. What you're really saying is, please notice me, please confirm that I matter. That's not strength, that's dependency. The strongest presence in any room is usually the quietest one, the one observing, the one not trying to impress, the one who speaks less but says more, because they don't need your approval. And when a person doesn't need anything from you, that's when they become dangerous. Anything that is everywhere loses power. If you're always posting, always talking, always revealing, always available, you become predictable. You become common. You become easy to read and easy to ignore. But when you step back, when you go quiet, when you become less visible, something strange happens. Your value increases. People start wondering. They start paying attention. They start trying to figure you out. Silence creates mystery, and mystery creates power. When you finally speak, it carries weight. When you finally reveal something, it matters because you didn't flood the world with noise. You made them wait. Here's the part that hurts the most. When you show off, you think you're in control. You think you're leading, but in reality, you're placing yourself on a stage and asking for judgment. You're saying, look at me. Tell me if I'm good enough. That means your emotional state is now controlled by other people. If they praise you, you feel high. If they ignore you, you feel low. If they criticize you, you feel attacked. That's not power, that's slavery. Because now your peace depends on people who don't even know you. Real power is when you don't need the reaction, when you don't care who saw it, when your standard comes from within, not from the outside. That's when you take back your life. There is a secret advantage in being underestimated. When people think you're average, they relax around you. They reveal more. They don't guard themselves. They don't compete with you. They let you move freely. And while they're distracted by louder people, you're building quietly, strategically, patiently. By the time they realize what you've done, it's too late. You've already moved ahead. You've already secured your position. You've already won. Let's talk about something real. Envy is not harmless. It has weight. It has impact. When you constantly put your life on display, you invite that energy into your space. You invite people to watch you with negative intentions. You invite silent resentment into your circle. And that pressure changes things. It changes how people treat you. It changes opportunities. It changes relationships. Sometimes in ways you can't even see. Protecting your peace means protecting your privacy. Not everyone deserves access to your wins. Not everyone deserves to know your moves. When you stop showing off, something powerful happens. You stop performing. You stop chasing approval. You stop needing to be seen. And in that silence, you find something most people never experience: control. You control your energy. You control your focus. You control your direction. You're no longer reacting to the world. You're moving through it on your own terms. That's real freedom. You don't need the applause. You never really did. You don't need people to validate your success. You don't need them to understand your journey. You don't need them to see your progress. Because the moment you need it, you lose your power. Let them talk. Let them guess. Let them underestimate you. Stay quiet. Stay focused. Stay disciplined. Build in silence. Move in silence. Win in silence. And one day, when it all comes together, you won't have to say a word, because your life will speak for you. I've learned from experience that this is the best way. And now that I'm out of the US and into a new country that I call home, I understand how to move from the very beginning. And it keeps me focused. It keeps me out of the drama. It keeps me out of the gossip, winning every single day without the world being all up in my business, because you only invite people who feel inadequate by your wins, and they'll come smiling, and you think it's applause, but guess what? That's the sound of them sharpening their knives behind your back. We don't need that now, do we? Always keep your head on a swivel, and really, to be unseen is the way of the modern day, especially in social media, where everything is broadcast out there, even stuff about you that you didn't put out. Just be careful, stay silent, and always win. Much love to you all, much respect. Thanks for coming through. LanceScurv out. Peace.